Welcome to the channel Nation, Jaden Chase, and these are some of the top stories making headlines today. Now, a judge has refused ShabDon access to his travel documents. Documents, as stated by his lawyer, as needed for ShabDon's career. Now, ShabDon, whose given name is Linval Thompson, is charged with breaching the Corruption Prevention Act following his arrest in October. And it is alleged that he offered $2 million to a cop to remove an illegal firearm from his grey Mercedes-Benz motorcar when it was searched by investigators. Thompson, who is 31 and is currently out on $450,000 bail with at least two sureties, he was ordered to surrender his travel documents and a stop order was placed on his passport. Now the judge asked ShabDon's lawyer a simple question. What was the passport specifically needed for? As the judge stated, and I quote, "I don't think he should be contemplating traveling in the near future as this trial is still ongoing." Now, Nation, it is clear. The judge is worried that if ShabDon is given travel documents, he might leave the country. Now, his attorneys pointed out that they had never stated to their client that he would be able to leave the country, but rather that he wanted the passport to use maybe as a form of identification, to which the judge is pointing out that a national ID with a TRN or a driver's license, maybe with a TRN, should suffice in any situation that a passport form of identification is needed. There is also rumored that despite residing miles away from Mobay, St. James, ShabDon's name is still being mentioned in certain circles in Mobay, St. James. And currently, what is taking place in multiple districts across St. James, especially with what take place in Rose Heights and the talk where take place on social media that more reprisals are on the way. And on social media, these things are get discussed on. This is how serious the situation is. These individuals are no longer worried about who know, who see. All they care about is carrying out their objectives. Talk to me, Nation. Tell me if you feel like the judge was right in her decision to deny ShabDon access to his passport, seeing that he is currently out on bail for breaching the Corruption Act, as it is alleged. As far as the weapons charges go, the other individual pled guilty, owned the weapon, and will be serving the sentence for said weapon. So as it pertains to those charges, ShabDon's name has been cleared. Now, the Corruption Act and the breach thereof is a whole other charge. Now, he was granted bail for this charge, but still, they are saying that travel documents are a passport which can be partially considered as travel documents depending upon where you go. You know, if you're going to North America, you're going to need a visa stamp within that said passport. And you know, from you have court order stoppage on it, you can't do that. So I guess the judge say, she wonder why ShabDon's attorney, I say, they might make a request for have passport. Now, ShabDon's attorney made, did I say, a reasonable argument and pointed out his music career and the fact that he's a celebrity producer and that even his father before him was also a celebrity producer. The judge, however, stated that that is not enough. And speaking of not being enough, it has been confirmed that the prosecution has not only stated that they do not have enough evidence to prosecute numerous members or continue the trial against numerous members of the alleged Spanish Town-based criminal organization, and that some of the accused have already been freed. Nation, Let's get right into that. Yes, nation, now let's continue reasoning. Now, the Crown has said that there is insufficient evidence to prove that the main Elliston, Rashawn Williams, Rivaldo Hilton were part of the criminal network, allegedly based in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Now, after millions of tax dollars being spent and what has been stated by the state itself as the biggest trial thus far against a criminal organization in Jamaica's history. And keep in mind, there was a previous trial similar to this, and there's one set to take place very soon involving members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force itself, who is said to be high-ranking members of that criminal organization. Now think about it. Millions of tax dollars being spent on these trials, even though prosecutors know that they don't have enough evidence to make it work in court. Is this the type of mindset that is fueling the whisper of corruption taking place within the justice system? Is it that cases, see that the people want results, are rushed, pushed to court, and then there is not enough evidence to prosecute individuals who they have accused of committing crimes? Is this the way that the justice system plans to provide justice for its citizens? Spending millions of taxpayer dollars to then what? Parade individuals around, call them names, and then release them into the society? These actions are not only creating a backlog at the court, but it is creating a systematic mindset of corruption, not only within the court itself or the justice system, but even within evidence gathering. More emphasis should be placed on gathering evidence, and this is the main reason why. Because when things are brought to trial, if the prosecution does not have enough evidence to present in court, if the evidence being presented by the prosecution is unreliable, shaky at best, then of course at some point in the trial is either there will be a mistrial, the individual will win their case, or in some cases corruption is exposed. Because what takes place is that either based on gut feeling or whatever the information the system is working on, these individuals have it that these individuals are guilty. And even without having the necessary evidence, then you see things come into play where evidence is presented and we have to say, but wait, other evidence here sounds so. In many instances, even the judges themselves have stated that the evidence is not much to go on. And in this case, the prosecutor is stating that the evidence that they have unfiled is not enough to move forward with the criminal case. Waste of taxpayer dollars again. And this is the problem that people have with the justice system. This is the problem that people have with crime fighting on a whole. The system still believes that the solution is a jump out jeep, a drive through community with a truck, and I put working people and everybody we say into it. That is not the solution. And not say you fight the crime and violence. We are talking about the law and law-abiding citizens. The truth be told, because the law is the law, when criminals are caught, arrested, and prosecuted, if there is not enough evidence to prove that they committed these crimes, because the law is the law, these individuals will have to be released. And so the law go. If you can't prove so them do it, then in the eyes of the law they didn't. Tell me how you feel about the fact that prosecutors have forwarded out and stated that they don't have enough evidence and they're going to start release some people. Because clearly this is just the first set of individuals that they're going to start to release. And the simple reason why is because there was not enough evidence gathered. Talk to me in the comment section. You know the sentiments, and for those who don't, until the reason again, live, love, and prosper. Stay tuned.